All right, championship season's here. We're super excited. Big Ten tournament. We leave Thursday. State College, Pennsylvania. Super excited to get out there, and this is it. This is what we trained for. The preseason's over, and excited to go and try and qualify. All 10 guys to get to the NCAA championships, and tough task at hand. But we're super excited to get out there and get ready to go.
Some sort of controversy going on around seedings in the Big Ten. I just want to get your take on that.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to me. Us coaches sat down last year and voted on a system of how to get our guys seated. We wanted to take the coaches completely out of it, and really it was in place to really reward the guys that competed. Well, I mean, some of these teams aren't wrestling their guys in Big Ten matches, and it came back to bite a lot of people in the butt. And now everybody wants to change the system. So, you got to reward the guys that show up and wrestle in the Big Ten matches, and you get what you deserve. You don't show up and compete, they place you somewhere in the bracket, probably where you shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. So, I'm happy to say that all of our guys showed up for every single Big Ten match, and we could have sat guys out and played that game and jockeyed to see where this could be or that could be, and sit my better guys out against better guys. But we're here to compete. It's not really fair to the kid. He's here to compete, and we gotta follow what we set through, and go with it. So we'll see what happens, whether they want to adjust things or not. Right, totally not in favor of redoing brackets or anything like that. Just hit a button, and whoever's in front of you, you wrestle, and you go out there and compete.
When we're talking about seedings this time of the year, how much of that is a mental thing? Because you do have to go out and you're going to be competing against the best, to advance. How much do you just kind of have to put aside whatever your path looks like, and just go at what's in front of you?
Yeah, well, and another good right. It really goes back to competing in all against everybody. We've wrestled a lot of these guys that we're already going to wrestle. So it doesn't matter what the number is in front of them. It's a matter of, right, we've competed against them. We know how to beat them. We know where we lost. We know the mistakes we've made. We've got film on everybody. Everybody's tough, right? It doesn't matter. We've got 14 really good teams in this league. Every team has a lot of great individuals. Doesn't matter where you are. You got to go out there and compete. You got to go out there and beat the best guys, and we got to have our best performances if we want to have a chance at doing really well at the national tournament.
This time of year, you allude to the national tournament with those kind of championships and opportunities on the line. What is it you're doing to prepare your guys for that kind of step up in level of intensity this time of year?
Yeah, well, physically we're ready. Right now it's more about backing them down, making sure they're not overdoing things, right? We've worked so hard for so long. It's hard to back the guys down now, because sometimes you get guys mentally that think they're not doing enough. Right? Less is more this time of the year physically. Thank goodness we're healthy, so we're not having to worry about training guys with injuries. That becomes a tricky situation. But right now, we've had 2 really good days, Monday, Tuesday. To tomorrow we back down, and then Thursday we're out of here. And then it's all about weight control and getting to the arena, getting mentally prepared, and getting ready to go do battle. Our guys understand. I've seen a different side of these guys already, which is great. Right? It looks like they're happier. It's like they know this is what they're here for. They see the light at the end of the tunnel. They see the goal is going to be here in 3 weeks. It's not 3 months away. So I've seen a team that's happier. I've seen them actually very loose, and I've seen them have 2 really, really good workouts that actually surprised me how good they were. So I'm very, these guys are great. We got a mix of young and old guys. We've had guys that've been to the national tournament. We've got an All-American on the team. We've got guys that understand how to taper, and super excited to get this group to Penn State and just see what we can do.
Coach, when it's Big Ten postseason time, who is Wisconsin wrestling? What's your identity?
Well, it doesn't change. It doesn't change who we are. Our guys have showed up, like I said, day in and day out, match in and match out. We've had some hiccups. We've had some great wins. So I think you're going to see the same Wisconsin team show up, right? We're bred. We're trained for 2 and 3 day tournaments. So I think the longer the guys get into the tournament, the deeper they go, you're going to see a better Wisconsin wrestler. And that's what I'm, excited to see. This is 2 days. You're going to make weight 2 days. You're going to compete 2 days. And like I said, the deeper you get into the tournament, I think you're going to see a tougher guy.
What do you think have been some of the maybe the biggest moments of the last? You're talking about 4 or 5 months, right? Of training and everything to get you to the point where you feel like you're confident of, the team, not necessarily individuals, but the group that you're taking to you to Penn State to go do what they need to do.
Well, I'll tell you, there were some matches this year where some of our big guns went down. Right, our guys were counting on 95% of the victories, and it was super exciting to see that when some of them went down in the same match, that our guys that really haven't had great years stepped up and had to win matches for us to win. That was very encouraging, and then you can see everybody rally around that. Obviously, beating Michigan was a huge win for our program. They were a top 10 program, right? They should have beat Iowa the night before, and for them to come into our arena and our guys actually, that match is who we are, right? We won a lot of gritty, tough matches, and we were able to all put it together as a group. If our guys go out there and compete at the Big Ten championships like we did against Michigan, man, we're going to have a heck of a tournament. If they go out there and compete like we did against, like I say, one of those matches where we didn't do too well, we're going to be in for a long weekend. But I'm super positive about these guys, and they've improved throughout the year, which has been an amazing improvement. Again, they're healthy, and right, they're wrestling like they have nothing to lose. They're going to go out there and let it fly and let it rip, and we're gonna see where the chips fall.
Not to get away from your guys, but to see the high school wrestlers in the Kohl Center this past weekend and the passion that this state shows for that sport, your sport, every year, do you still kind of get up for that to see those players in this town?
Man, there was that national anthem Saturday night in front of 17,000 people was amazing. And Coach Reeder and I were on the floor before the finals, and we're sitting there, and I looked at him and I said, "Man, this is something that I actually enjoy more about coaching, is actually getting down here on the floor and watching these guys get ready to wrestle in a state championship match." And then for the state to show up like that, 17,000 sold out, people are scalping tickets out front, the town is packed. It was almost like a national championship feeling in our town last week. And these people in Wisconsin are passionate about wrestling. It's amazing. Women's wrestling, men's wrestling, kids wrestling, they don't care. They show up. Everything is packed. The town is amazing. And, it's a great place to wrestle, the state of Wisconsin.